Gold's Gym. Men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. So everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one saying and I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
I just find it odd that men are raised to see women as the weaker sex, even if you are equal. But now we live in a society that if you have this voice at the gym and you don't feel safe, everybody would think you're the one disturbing the peace.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America, where like trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a f*** how women feel?
I mean, I think it's quite clear. It was never about how it made you feel. It was about how they felt and how you affirm how they're feeling. That's the only reason you're in that position is because of empathy. The problem is, now that you have that power, you don't show that empathy. Most people don't care about this, but the moment you force them to care about something, like you need to affirm this and pass legislation so people can be affected by laws, I think it affected way more people than you think in a negative way, while you're celebrating in a positive way. It was two energies that can never be in the same room.
Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here.
If you want to be like a woman, amen. Good for you. Glad you have that power to actually believe that. But still, I find it kind of odd that you want to go into a combat sport, beat a woman, and tell me, hey man, I think that's fair. And then you don't feel like you're invading their space because now they feel they are getting kicked out for just having a specific opinion?
Immediately, I'm pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the f is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a f about how women feel, I'd like to think.
I like to think that I don't want you to bring me in here. This is your battle. Don't bring me in because I've been seeing this for years. I lost my channel because of it, that I'm regulating my speech because I just don't want to be that guy in your eye that you see. I'm just pointing out how one of your allies is like, hey, what are you doing? And you treat them exactly like me sometimes. So if somebody can treat you by the same laws that you might call somebody a misogynist, you are the one that allowed it.
Nothing more manly than not giving a f about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't explain, I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightphobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated.
The moment you have to explain everything with a disclaimer, I don't think you're speaking to a person that wants to reach a middle ground because they already think you're a bad person. We are the silent majority. And just because they were silent about it, that doesn't mean everybody was happy. They just thought you were always so angry we cared more about you.
Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws?
Why are women making the law? I want to ask this question too. I have no idea. Sometimes it feels like a social experiment. That as long as you push people in a certain direction and make them feel good about it, they would be ready to accept something that's not even logical.
And if you really want to be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right.
I think that's not gonna work, because if I buy a glass, hey man, you're gonna have to pay for 2 glasses. If I had 1 leg, generally you're gonna pay for 2 shoes. I mean, the only option is family bathroom, where you have to be very nice and never naked and respect each other and don't look at each other. Yes, it's gonna be like a military, but I think it's the safest option. But I'm sure a lady's gonna be like, I don't feel empathetic, I don't feel safe, I want my own bathroom. You're gonna have your own bathroom again, and it's going to happen again. So yes, somebody is going to have to suffer.
And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
And that says it's enough for me. There is no woman that has told me something like that, why they feel vulnerable, and I deny it and make them feel shameful. I care for her peace, and a bathroom is a peaceful place.
Don't talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here.
Maybe it was a one-time accident. The fact that they defended them, the fact that they kicked her out, because we don't want to have the stigma that we're phobic. It's sad. I can dress like a woman, go to a bathroom, and if it's a left-leaning place, I can get somebody kicked out, because nobody would dare to question my action out of safety for me.
The largest women's esports competition just took place a few days ago, where a bunch of women came together to compete against one another in Fortnite at TwitchCon. And guess who won? A biological man.
Dream come true. I'm just so happy right now.
Invader, one last question for you. Coming into something like the Milk Cup Championship, a place for women, made by women, for women, what does it mean to be here now, standing here as the winner of a place like this that is about the presence of women in esports?
I think that it really shows that you could be yourself, like be your true self, be who you are, unapologetic about it, and that there are spaces for everybody and that no one should ever give up.
Guys, give it up one more time for your Milk Cup champions, Exet Nina and Vader!
Well, dudes that have been changed into chicks are crushing it right now. Male Spanish soldiers are self-identifying as women to get better army digs. Army Corporal Roberto, who registered as a female in the past 12 months, reportedly he gets a better salary now. He has nicer accommodations. And then also, he was told that his pension's gone up because women get more to compensate for inequality. Also gets a 15% more annual salary for being a mother. You know what the best part is? Because out of respect for, he said he didn't want to be in the female houses and showering with them and stuff. So they just gave him his own house. Corporal's been allowed to maintain his beard because facial hair is permitted for women, whereas guys have to shave their beard.
What do you mean facial hair is permitted for
There's
women?
nothing in the code of conduct about women having facial hair.
This is just a smart guy. He's a smart lady.
Ladies and gentlemen, what I learned today, if women are in power, they will set these rules through empathy. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying, if you're against these rules, you're just a man to them.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, durloqueta, verdeta, welcome.